Welcome back to TheChowTimePod. It's your host, Red. I got a video today from YouTube Shorts, Women fought so hard for their rights, their independentness, and, all of feminism, but it backfired. It really backfired on them. Men are leaving. Men are not approaching. Men are going mid-towel, and women are left in the dust, in a sense. So please subscribe down below. I really appreciate that. Let's get to that chow. It's chow time.
Back in the days, most of the time, you would wait for someone to make the first move. It might be on the first date, it might be the third date, whatever. It could be the man, it could be the woman. But now, all my friends have noticed that the man has stopped making the first move. All my girlfriends are like, they're waiting. It's the third date, fourth date, a week later. He hasn't gone in for the kiss. He doesn't do any touching or anything. And I've asked my dude friends that are single, and they are like, you don't know where a woman's gonna go with that story anymore. I ain't touching nobody. And it sucks because the Me Too movement is so strong and so powerful for the people that need it, but it shouldn't ruin the maturity that we should have within intimacy and relationships. Back in the days,
They say this, but it really has, because women have really accused men of such horrible doing just because they're upset, just because things didn't go their way. So men are waking up and just not wanting to deal with it anymore.
Do you want to know your hint to go up to a girl? Eye contact. If they're just looking at you, they want you to come up to them.
I'm
Just
taking
like
mental notes.
And this is
Look
my
at
hand. I
us.
literally kept going like this.
Okay.
And we made eye contact, I swear to you, like maybe 8-9 times. So that was my hint, like come up to me, like I'm obviously think you're cute or something, right? Did not come up to me, and I was
So
like,
basically,
all right,
read her
kinda
mind.
Yeah, that's
Pretty
kind of what
much.
I was
That's
saying.
a note.
I get back home, I wake up the next day, I get a DM. Hey, saw you at the Steve Madden event. You're really cute. I open it. It was the pink shirt guy. I was like, why didn't you come up to me, like at the actual thing?
Guys are scared nowadays.
Guys are so scared.
Do you want to know your hint to go up to a girl?
Yeah, I wouldn't say scared, but we don't want to deal with the risk. The whole, men are very risk adverse. That's what I always say. So if it's not worth the juice is not worth the squeeze, we leave it alone.
Very curious, how do guys you're around your age, how do they talk to you guys?
That's the funny thing is that they don't. I have gotten approached at a party maybe twice since being here.
That's wild.
Men don't approach us
Wow.
here.
I have,
Which, I find funny because there's so many beautiful women here in Isla Vista.
honestly think that might be the problem.
Yeah, there's so many of us here.
Oh yeah, we're so intimidated because you guys are so beautiful. No, I actually love these types of clips because as young men out there are learning. They're learning to avoid these women, learning to not play the games that are put out there for them to have to play. Focus on yourself. Let these women flail and, look for men the way they want to.
It's, again, very rare, but the ones who have approached me were like very, very incoherent and very, very drunk. I couldn't really hold like a clear conversation with them. So it's kind of iffy if it even like counts.
There are single women with no kids who are college educated.
Yeah.
And they are having trouble finding mates because they're like, I'm at this level.
Yes.
And I'm looking for someone to elevate me, and I'm not finding a lot of candidates that are going to meet me or improve me. And I think that is what a lot of people are missing.
I think that's an excuse though. There are educated women out there who can find good men, but the real question is what they're not going to tell you is how many successful men that are on their level or above their level that they passed off for silly reasons. That's true. See, that's something they're not going to tell you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
See, that's what we don't know. We just
not
hear,
gonna get to the
I can't
nitty-gritty.
find nobody, I can't find nobody.
But
no,
what did you
can
do
find
to
them.
run him off? Like, that's the question.
but you're not gonna hear but you're not gonna hear how many of those good successful dudes did you turn down? How many did you not give your time to?
This is 100% correct. Well, they always say there's no good men, but I'm sure they've curved tens, hundreds of men that were good candidates that just didn't hit every single point that these women wanted. And they hit to a point where those particular good men aren't looking for them anymore. And now they're in this position of not being able to find anybody.
I saw a video the other day. A girl's like, men are afraid to come up to us. They're not afraid to come up to you. I mean, maybe some feel a little insecure, but by and large, they're just like, I don't need this aggravation today. I don't need some diva aggravation today, because more often than not, what do? Nasty, like a little attitude, puckered lips. The pucker look.
Mm-hmm.
They're tired. They're tired. They're tired of getting made fun of. They're tired of being, abused. They're tired of getting, oh, I'm a meme now. Because why? Because I looked your way for 2 seconds in the gym. I saw it.
It's exactly it. Again, I go to the gym, I just put sunglasses on. Probably people look at me all weird because I have sunglasses on while working out, but just leave me alone. That's like pretty much what the sign of the sunglasses is. Like, I'm not here to like look at anybody. I'm not here to do anything. I'm just here to pump some iron and then go on my way. Don't even pay attention to me.
Honest, I'd rather just be a little lonelier than deal with all the hassle of dating. I'm really not in a place emotionally and financially where I can deal with sorting through a bunch of misses to find.
The whole being lonely thing. I know a lot of people, especially a lot of young men, even older men, just men in general, have this feeling. This is where you need your buddies. This is where you need really close friends. You build those connections and work on those connections. Attempt and put it in the forefront to want to build connections with your boys. Those connections are so deeper, so much more fulfilling than it is just looking for a woman to kind of fill that loneliness.
Find a missus. Nowadays with dating apps, there's always something new and more exciting just around the corner. So many women I've dated have abruptly broken things off because they found something more exciting. Dating is like taking on a part-time job. I don't have the time or the energy. I'm sure all of you can relate to that. Social media, Hollywood, and porn have really altered the expectations of the general public across the board when looking for a mate. It's actually really messed up psychologically when a person thinks about it. Specifically, unrealistic expectations are held by people who conveniently hold themselves to extremely low standards but feel entitled to the best. More specifically, unrealistic expectations are held by people who act like victims when they're confronted with equally high expectations. To be honest, I'd rather...
Yep. As soon as they say, oh, I need this, I need that, and a man is like, well, I also need this from you. Oh, you're sassy.
I believe every man wants a modest woman, a woman that doesn't twerk around, that doesn't drink, that doesn't party, that stays home, that cleans for them, and that cooks, that worships them. And if you show yourself as a party girl, no man will want you. Maybe for one night stand, but that's not wifey material. And I promise you, you wanna be wifey material. And we can all have a past, and you can go through there, and you can build yourself to be wifey material. That's how you're gonna find the happiness. When you're a wife, and when you're raising your sons, and they are proud of you, and not ashamed. And I'm sure with these bikini pictures, they are gonna be ashamed. I honestly believe as a woman, there's nothing more satisfying than giving pleasure to your man.
Of course. Yeah, I agree with you.
I said it a little slower. One more time. Yeah. And look right into the camera, okay?
Over here. Where's the camera? As a woman, I believe there's nothing more satisfying than giving pleasure to your man.
Ooh la la. That was a commercial.
This is why I say travel, man. I know there's a good amount of men out there that's only seen women that are around them. And a lot of women that are around them, they seem to think that is what most women are, but it's not. There's women that were raised to be different, raised to be housewives, raised to respect a man, not raised to be twerking around, not raising to be hood rats or whatever it is. You know what I mean? This is why even traveling in different states can show you some of these things, but traveling outside of the country, it's a whole nother ball game of how women are and how people are in general.
Me stating biological facts. So boys can't be boys, but girls can be girls?
Yes, girls can be girls because girls are not the violent ones in our society. Boys grow up to be men and they commit 3 times more violent crime than women. I mean, it's just a fact. So girls are doing it right.
Yeah,
They're
boys are
dangerous.
bad.
They're aggressive. They're violent.
Be afraid of boys. Boys need to be afraid of themselves. There's something wrong with you. You're born evil. We got to teach you to be in a matriarchal society, not a patriarch. This woman, this white woman, the most protected class in America, white women, yet again, complaining about some shit that does not matter.
What I can appreciate about Passport Bros is I think it's an effective flag being raised for Western women as well. I'm not necessarily saying that they're going to find someone. I'm not saying that they're not going to get screwed over. I'm not even necessarily saying that I would encourage men to go do it. Like you said, if you want to, cool, go do it. I do think though that the motivation for it is the fact that men are still expected to act very traditionally. They're expected to be very chivalrous. They're expected to be protectors. They still need to take care of you. They still are expected to do things like open your door, give the jacket, things like that. But if that's what a man's duty to you is, to be chivalrous, it's very, very loosely defined what a woman's duty to a man is.
Very ambiguous.
And that is why I think they go to places where they are actually taught from a young age how to treat a man. What is your duty to a man?
This is a big deal, especially men that come from single mother households. They actually don't see this dynamic. They see this is what women are. They don't see how men can be treated, how men are treated in different cultures, how men are treated in different walks of life, tell you the truth. I talk to quite a bit of people, and because they've only experienced what they've experienced, they kind of assume that's kind of what everything is, and it's not. Like I said, we know exactly what we're supposed to do as men. Most men do. But in America, in the US, in the West, it's very loosely defined what women do for men and what they're supposed to do for men. It's really sad. How's that, Chow? It's different in other countries. It's different than what we see around us. These videos kind of show the different viewpoints of different women from different walks of life. And then you see all the other videos that I make when the women from Asia, women from Latin America and stuff speak. They speak totally different. They act different. Go out there, man, and check it out yourself. Don't just believe me or think I'm lying or whatever it is. Explore. Do your best to educate yourself. So please subscribe down below. I really appreciate that, and I'll catch you guys next time. Ciao.